Right now, I'm in Nordhouse Dunes trails. This makes up about 3,500 acres of landshore and about 10 miles of trails. There were a couple of things I considered when coming out here to camp, especially under harsh conditions. One is temperature. When I set up my tent here, you'll see that I'm not sleeping in a traditional sleeping bag, but more of a hammock setup. That is because with the thermal gear that I have, I want the heat to rise up, and I'm going to be in that pocket of nice hot air. And I am, apologies, out of breath. My pack right now weighs about 60 pounds, and carrying that for 2 miles kind of took it out of me. When choosing a setup to sleep in colder conditions, I prefer to be in a hammock setup rather than a ground setup. On the ground, you have the coldness of the earth coming up into your body, and so you need a lot of protection underneath of you to keep the cold air out and the hot air in. With a hammock setup, all of the warmth that I'm going to be generating inside of my tent will be on the top part of the tent, and so I'll be right inside of that nice cozy spot of warm air. So I've got my tent set up now. I'm gonna do a couple more things to prep for tonight. I'm gonna go collect some wood. I'm gonna get my wood stove set up, and I'm probably gonna start a little fire in there just to cook some lunch. But yeah, I'm gonna be spending the next 3 days inside of this tent. It is very spacious. This is probably the biggest tent I've ever camped in before. I'm a 5'9", pretty average male, and I can stand just with my knees bent up here. But as I go into the, I suppose, taller side of the tent, it is even more spacious. So this is perfect for a couple days camping. I'm really excited to get this set up. And before I start to process that firewood, I want to show you what I have to bring and to eat with me. So I have pre-frozen all of this, so this is still pretty thick, pretty thawed. No, not thawed, but frozen. This is frozen too. But we have two steaks here. I have some ground hot sausage, just some frozen vegetables that I can steam or just put underneath of the oven fire. And then I have two things of biscuit rolls, which should be pretty easy to just cook right on top of the stove. Then inside of my backpack, I have a bunch of dry goods. I have cans of chili. I have some to-go snacks for when I go to the beach or anything. But a lot of simple stuff that I can make quick and easy. So I'm just gonna lay that birch bark down as the base layer, then those two pieces of fat wood right on top. Then I'm just gonna lay in a couple of my logs. The outside is really, really wet, but the insides of them are pretty dry. So I'm pretty certain this is going to start a really nice fire. Once we get it going, of course. The fire going. I have all my stuff back there. I put down a tarp so that I can walk around in my socks if I really wanted to. And I have my chair, of course. This is my sleeping bag. This is a Grand Trunk hammock, as well as a one tigress underquilt. Then, to keep myself a little more warmer, I also have a sleeping bag, sort of like insulator. I'll show you guys when I pull it out, when I start to get ready for bed. But yeah, I'm really super happy with this. It's gonna be really warm in here during the night, which is perfect. We're expecting, you know, around 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius during the night. That's the coldest it's gonna get for the 3 days I'm staying here. Make some food on it. I want to show you something though. So I'm wearing these, you know, thermal socks, then this underlayer, then these pants. But just the sweat that I accumulated, you know, this is gonna, I don't really feel it right now, but it's gonna get cold, you know, as the day goes on. So I'm gonna take some time. I'm gonna dry this stuff off as best as I can. It's currently around 6 o'clock. I'd say it's just after sunset. There wasn't much of a sunset, so it kind of just got really dark really quick. But I just wanted to show you guys, you know, what I'm doing for dinner. Over here, I got that ground breakfast sausage with chili mix. It was just like beans, no other vegetables. Kind of sucks, but whatever. In here, I have some instant mashed potatoes. Lovely, lovely. Then I wanted to show you guys, I don't know if it's gonna show up again, but this oven was like red hot and like it made the tent like super visible. It was like really weird. Good morning, guys. Last night went pretty well up until maybe 1 o'clock when I ran out of firewood. The wind really started to pick up, and so my tent was flapping around everywhere. It was, you know, the stove wasn't putting off any heat. So it was a bit of a struggle to keep warm inside of this thing, because this underquilt is only really rated for about 40 degrees. And combined with the sleeping bag insulator that I brought with me, which is just like a thin layer that you kind of tuck yourself into, I wasn't getting much warmth. I wasn't you know, staying warm as much, and so it was a pretty big struggle from like 3 to 8 o'clock. You know, I was just putting whatever I had over myself, but I managed to sleep for the most part. The first thing I did when I woke up was collect some firewood, so I got, you know, 3 pretty long logs to chop down to cut up, but hopefully that'll get me throughout the night tonight. If not, you know, just throughout the day for now. But the big lesson I learned was that I need to cut more firewood, which I should have anticipated. But, you know, the conditions really kind of changed overnight, and so I'm dealing with a couple more things today. This wind is a big one, as you can see. Let's head down to the lake. I can see a couple buildings over there. More dunes. I did see a couple walk in last night, said hi to them. Here's my tent down there. I'm on top of a dune right now, but I'd say I'm about, you know, a couple of yards from the beach, not too far. I think I managed to scoop up enough water that doesn't have sand in it to boil it and make some coffee with. So I got my water boiling there from Lake Michigan. I'm gonna make up some breakfast on my skillet. I'm gonna see what there is to eat. So now I'm just gonna take a little quick trip back to my car. I got a small bag with me, just full of like trash and other stuff I'm not really using this trip. I did bring like 2 other fire systems just in case I went out and needed to make some food. So I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the wind's pretty strong right along the coast here. That's what I was trying to avoid when thinking about setting up tent. So as I'm walking here, more about last night. Up until like 12 o'clock, I was super warm. I was sweating. I just had my long johns on and my long sleeve t-shirt. You know, I took this coat off. I took my my like base layer off. It was super warm. But then I woke up maybe around 3 in the morning, and I was freezing my butt off. make it family friendly. But yeah, it was from like 3 to 8, which is when the sun rose. I was just cold. But it wasn't too bad. I was able to fall back asleep. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. As soon as the sun rose, I went out, collected some just dead branches that I could quick toss into the fire, started up. And within maybe 20 minutes, it was ripping and roaring. The only issue with that oven, though, is that it's stainless steel. And if you don't have a constant fire, a constant burning fire in there, it's going to lose heat so fast. Which is something I was having an issue with, too, because I put logs in and it wouldn't really like catch. It wouldn't really start to heat up until those logs burned through all the way. But I doubt my camera's going to pick it up. But there are dunes right here and all along the coastline, kind of blocking the sound of the ocean or the lake. It looks like an ocean, right? But I can still kind of hear it from back there. But also about 1.5 miles that way, I can hear cars as well. And so it's not a long hike to get here. It's just, it's kind of off the beaten path. So I'll show you guys right here. I took the Nordhouse Dunes trail that way, and that led right to the beach. That was only about a couple miles. There's a lot more foot traffic today than yesterday. I passed about 3 parties so far. But you know what? It's a really beautiful day to do it. I mean, the sun's out, mostly blue skies, just a couple clouds. It's a perfect day to be outside, honestly. As you can see behind me, it's pretty light, but as you can see, all the trees are, the trees have like shed, the leaves are on the ground. So on this other side of me, the camera doesn't really pick it up very well, but this is a lot darker, a lot more shaded area of forest. And if you're ever going camping in the summer, in the spring, in the fall, whenever, you know, you'll see a lot more darker woods like this. But, you know, it provides, you know, good protection from the sun. It's a little cooler. So in those conditions, it's perfect. Before I take off again, I brought this axe with me. And it was the summer of 2021 when I found this. Me and my friends were up in Copper Harbor. We were camping there for 2 days. And when I say Copper Harbor, I don't mean the town. It was the offshoot road, the dirt road, when you go past the town in the deep woods. Really good experience. I highly suggest it. But we were walking along the path to go to the coast of Lake Superior, and we saw this handle sticking out, you know, just from the bottom. I said, oh, what is this thing? And pull it out. It's this full axe. It's a Estwing. It's gonna be backwards, but I don't know if you can see that. And so, you know, I cleaned it up a little bit. I sharpened it. It's a pretty good axe overall. I just, you know, I thought it was a cool background, cool story to it. So it may seem pretty calm in here, but the wind is getting pretty strong and it's only going to get stronger. Right now it's about 13 miles an hour. It's going to get up to 15 miles an hour this night. And it's also going to start raining tonight. So I think I'm actually just going to pack up camp later on this evening before the night comes and then just head out of here. It's going to be a pain in the butt to, you know, kind of pack, especially in the rain. And I don't want to wait out until like 1 o'clock for the rain to just stop in case I need to, like, you know, go out and get some firewood. I don't really have any rain-proof protection on me. So I think the best idea would to just be use up all the food that I can right now. I'm going to cook up some of that steak and then just head out of here. But, you know, this was a very enjoyable experience. This tent is awesome. This wood stove is amazing. It's so warm. It's about, you know, 60 degrees in here right now. I'm comfortable in just this t-shirt and this thermal layer. I took off my coat, as you can see. But yeah, this has been really fun. I'm definitely gonna upgrade this sleeping system for sure. Just this underquilt alone isn't enough. I definitely need like a winter sleeping bag for sure. But besides that, you know, I had a really good experience. This was really fun and I can't wait to come back and do it again. This is a super hot surface, so I want to be careful when cooking the steak. I don't want to overcook it or burn it.